Right now, in this sacred moment between night and day, you are offered the gift of consciousness, of awareness, and the opportunity to create again. Not from memory, not from fear, and not from the chaos of yesterday, but from the stillness that lives within you, waiting to be welcomed. As the light begins to rise, you too rise, not only from your bed, but from limitation, from old emotions, from stories that no longer define you. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not even the thoughts you used to believe were yours. Today, you welcome a peaceful day, not because the world around you has changed, but because you have. Because something inside of you remembers that peace is your natural state. When you begin your day with elevated emotion, with heart-brain coherence, you become a broadcasting signal to the universe. You are no longer trying to survive the day, you are creating it. You are setting the tone with gratitude, which is the signature of receivership. You are choosing to feel the emotions of the future you are calling into being. Joy, wholeness, abundance, freedom, and peace. And by doing that, you are telling the field that it has already arrived. Your biology is no longer waiting for evidence to believe. It is living as though the miracle has already occurred. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. This is neuroplasticity in action. This is epigenetics bending in your favor. You are not hoping for peace. You are becoming peace. You are becoming peace. Your brain is now signaling new circuits. Your heart is beating in rhythm with elevated truth, and your energy is shifting the very molecules of your future. As you affirm your peaceful state, not just with words, but with elevated feeling, your body no longer remembers stress. It remembers the divine. It remembers balance. It remembers the blueprint of harmony that has always lived within. You are now the observer and the creator, not the reactor. And from this place, you are no longer addicted to the familiar chemicals of fear, worry, or resentment. You are addicted to presence, to stillness, to the ecstasy of inner calm. Breathe in this reality. Feel it in every cell. This is the signal that consciousness responds to. Not desperation, not need, but wholeness. Your energy now leads the way before your feet even move. Your vibration now meets the world before your words are spoken. You are no longer waiting for peace to come to you. You are bringing peace to the world, radiating it from within like a living meditation. Today, the divine in you flows effortlessly, because there is no resistance, no fear, only trust. You surrender not in weakness, but in mastery. And in that surrender, the quantum field organizes everything in your favor. You will meet new opportunities not by accident, but by alignment. You will experience flow not by force, but by coherence. Your body will follow your mind, and your world will follow your energy. So rise not just from rest, but from your old self. Welcome this peaceful day not just as a desire, but as a declaration. You are calm. You are aware. You are the frequency of grace. The mind and body awaken with intention, not by default. Each morning offers a sacred opportunity to reset, to consciously step into a new version of self, one that is no longer governed by the past or limited by unconscious patterns. When you open your eyes and deliberately choose your thoughts, you are no longer a prisoner of yesterday's emotions. You are telling your body a new story. The first thoughts of the day carry immense power because they determine the emotional tone of everything that follows. If you wake up in the same habitual state of stress, doubt, or fear, your body remembers, and your day becomes a repeat performance of the past. But when you awaken with intention, you break the cycle. You begin to recondition your body to a new mind, and that changes everything. The body may want to go back to old emotions, to its addiction to the familiar, but when the mind is aware, when it's intentional, it redirects. This is where transformation begins. You become the master rather than the servant. You guide your internal state instead of reacting to the external world. Intention is a frequency, and when you align your thoughts and emotions with a desired outcome, your body begins to believe in that future. It doesn't just think about change, it starts to feel it. And when the body feels differently, it behaves differently. When it behaves differently, the world responds accordingly. This is how you move from survival to creation. You are no longer waking up and living by chance. You are waking up and living by choice. The body begins to memorize a new way of being, anchored in clarity, gratitude, and purpose. Intention shapes attention, and where your attention goes, energy flows. This energy becomes your vibration, your signal to the quantum field. So each morning, as you awaken your mind with thoughts of peace, abundance, healing, or joy, your body becomes a partner in that vision. It's not just mental, it's biological, it's chemical, it's energetic. You are literally becoming the person you want to be, starting the moment you wake up. And with daily practice, that intentional awakening becomes who you are, not a momentary act, but a living embodiment of change. Inner peace is a signal to the quantum field, not just an emotional state, but an energetic broadcast that tells the universe who you are being in this moment. When you cultivate inner peace, you are no longer operating from survival mode. You are no longer sending out incoherent signals of fear, doubt, or resistance. Instead, you are stepping into coherence, into alignment, into resonance with higher frequencies. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are, what you feel, and the energy you emit. And peace is one of the highest, clearest frequencies you can embody. It says, I trust, I surrender. I know that all is well even before the evidence appears. That state, you are no longer trying to force reality into shape. You are allowing reality to flow toward you. Inner peace is not passivity. It is a powerful act of creation. It is choosing stillness when chaos tempts you, choosing calm when the world pulls you toward reaction. This choice signals to the field that you are no longer vibrating at the level of lack or separation. You are whole, you are complete, you are the unified self. The field, in turn, mirrors this state back to you in the form of experiences, people, synchronicities, and outcomes that match that vibration. Peace is coherence between heart and mind, between thought and emotion. When your inner world becomes orderly, the outer world begins to reflect that same order. You become magnetic not because you are trying, but because your energy is clear. You become a beacon in the field, a signal strong enough to reorganize matter and bring your intentions into form. It is in this peaceful state that miracles unfold, not as random events, but as natural consequences of energetic alignment. You no longer chase, things begin to arrive. You no longer strive, opportunities begin to appear. The stillness within becomes the language the field understands. And from that stillness, you begin to create with ease. Inner peace tells the quantum field you are no longer separate from what you seek. You are already it. You are already living as the future you. And the field, always faithful, responds to that truth. Gratitude and coherence tune the heart into a state of profound alignment, transforming it from a simple organ into a powerful center of intelligence and creation. When you feel genuine gratitude, not as a concept but as an embodied emotional experience, you activate a specific and measurable physiological state in the body. The heart begins to beat in a smooth, ordered, and harmonious rhythm, which sends a coherent signal to the brain. This heart-brain coherence is not just a metaphor, it is a real scientifically observable state where the nervous system functions optimally, the immune system is strengthened, and the mind becomes clear and focused. In this state, you are not reacting to life, you are consciously designing it. Gratitude is the emotional signature of receiving. When you feel grateful for something before it arrives, you are signaling to the body and the quantum field that you already have it. The body cannot distinguish between a memory, a current experience, or a deeply imagined future when the emotional response is the same. So by flooding your system with gratitude for the life you are creating, you begin to program your biology to live as if your desired future is already here. This coherence between heart and mind becomes the new baseline of your being. You are no longer in conflict with yourself. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy all speak the same language. This is the state where transformation happens. The heart becomes a magnet, not through force, but through frequency. The electromagnetic field of the heart expands, and in that expansion you influence the field around you. Opportunities begin to align, healing accelerates, intuition sharpens. You begin to live in flow, not because you're lucky, but because your internal environment is in order. Gratitude elevates you beyond survival. It lifts you into a state of creation. And coherence ensures that the energy you're radiating is pure, focused, and in harmony with the universe. Together, gratitude and coherence open the door to new possibilities, drawing into your life the people, experiences, and events that match the frequency of your elevated state. This is how you shift from waiting for something to change to becoming the change. The present moment is your power source because it is the only place where true creation happens. When you anchor yourself fully in the now, you disconnect from the illusions of the past and the projections of the future. You step out of the habitual programs of fear, doubt, and limitation that are usually based on memory. The past is merely a record of what has happened, and the future is an imagined outcome based on those same old emotional patterns. But the present is alive. It is real. It is where your energy is most potent and your awareness is most available. When you are truly present, your attention is no longer fragmented. You're not scattered across regrets or worries. Instead, your consciousness becomes focused, sharp, and expansive. In that focused awareness, you can observe your thoughts without becoming them. Notice your emotions without being ruled by them. And shift your state of being with intention. This is where transformation begins. This is where healing begins. The present moment allows you to break free from the momentum of the unconscious self and choose a new reality. It is the gateway to accessing the quantum field, the space of infinite possibilities, where all potential futures already exist. But the field responds only to who you are being now, not who you were or who you say you will become someday. The more present you are, the more coherent your energy becomes, and the stronger your signal to the field. This is why presence is power. In this moment, you can choose new thoughts, feel new emotions, and install new programs. You are not bound by what was. You are liberated by what is. Every breath brings you back to this power source. Every moment of awareness deepens your access to creation. The present moment is your point of access to the divine, to intuition, to clarity. It is not empty. It is charged with potential. And when you learn to live here, not just visit occasionally, you begin to align with the life you were always meant to live. Everything you seek exists now, not later. Not tomorrow, but here in this sacred, spacious, unrepeatable now. Affirmations rewire the subconscious mind by interrupting the automatic patterns that have been running silently beneath conscious awareness. Most of who you are, your behaviors, beliefs, emotional responses, and habits are rooted in subconscious programming shaped by past experiences and repeated thoughts. These patterns form a neural network that your body memorizes over time, causing you to think, feel, and act in predictable ways, even when those patterns no longer serve your highest good. Affirmations are tools that introduce new thoughts and emotional signatures into that system. When repeated consistently and emotionally charged, affirmations become more than words. They become new instructions to the mind and body. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and imagined. It responds to repetition and feeling. So when you affirm something positive, such as I am abundant, I am whole, or I am worthy, with conviction and belief, you begin to interrupt the old programs of lack, limitation, and fear. Each time you repeat the affirmation, you are firing new neural pathways. And the more often you fire them, the more you wire them. Over time, these new circuits become more dominant than the old ones. The key is emotional engagement. It's not enough to say the words, you must feel them in your body. The elevated emotions paired with the new thought patterns accelerate the rewiring process. This is how you shift your identity at the level of being. You stop reinforcing the story of who you've been and start becoming someone new. Your body begins to trust the new message. Your subconscious starts to follow your conscious lead, and what once felt unfamiliar becomes second nature. This is transformation from the inside out. Affirmations become a bridge between the conscious desire and the unconscious belief. They create coherence, alignment, and empowerment. With daily practice, they plant new seeds in the garden of your mind. Seeds that grow into confidence, clarity, and creative power. You begin to respond to life differently because the lens through which you perceive it has changed. You are no longer living by default. You are living by design. And the mind that once kept you in survival becomes the ally that supports your evolution. A peaceful day is a conscious choice, not a lucky accident, because how we experience life is directly tied to the energy we bring into each moment. Many people move through their day hoping for peace, wishing that things will go smoothly or waiting for external circumstances to determine how they feel. But peace is not something that happens to you. It's something you cultivate from within. It begins with intention. The moment you wake up, you have the power to decide the tone of your inner world. You can choose to carry unresolved emotions from the past, or you can choose to release them and step into the new. When you decide that your internal state matters more than external events, you reclaim your personal power. You are no longer at the mercy of others' behavior or the unpredictability of the world. You become the one who decides how you feel, how you respond, and how you move through your day. A peaceful day is not about perfection or everything going right. It's about remaining grounded, centered, and connected to your higher self no matter what unfolds. It means being able to pause and breathe when chaos arises. It means observing your thoughts and emotions without becoming consumed by them. It means aligning with the energy of peace so deeply that even external turbulence cannot disturb your inner calm. This level of presence and awareness does not come from wishful thinking. It comes from daily practice and commitment. When you prioritize peace, you begin to notice how your choices, your words, your focus, your energy either support or disrupt that state. You learn to set boundaries, let go of control, and surrender outcomes, knowing that your peace is more valuable than any temporary reaction. The universe responds to the energy you offer. When you consistently embody peace, you attract experiences, people, and opportunities that reflect that harmony. Your world softens because your inner world is no longer in conflict. And over time, this conscious choice becomes your default way of being. You don't have to force peace to happen. It arises naturally because you've trained your mind and body to live in coherence. A peaceful day is not an accident. It's the result of you deciding, moment by moment, to be in alignment with the calm within. Surrender is the gateway to receiving because it is the moment when you release resistance and align with the intelligence of the universe. Most people are conditioned to believe that they must control every detail of their lives, forcing outcomes, pushing harder, and striving endlessly. But this energy of control often stems from fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear that things won't happen unless we make them happen. Yet true receiving doesn't occur through force, it happens through openness. Surrender is not about giving up. It's about letting go of attachment to how and when something must unfold. It's a state of deep trust, a declaration that you believe something greater is at work, and that your role is to stay in alignment rather than in anxiety. When you surrender, you no longer chase, you invite, you no longer beg, you allow. The quantum field responds not to desperation, but to coherence. When your energy is peaceful and your heart is open, you become a clear receiver. You signal to the field that you are ready, not by demanding, but by becoming the version of you who already has what you seek. In surrender, you no longer dwell on the absence of your desire. You feel the fullness of its presence even before it appears. And that emotional signature creates resonance with your intention. The universe doesn't require struggle to deliver. It requires readiness, and readiness comes from surrender. It is in this relaxed, elevated state that the body heals, insights flow, and synchronicities unfold. You are no longer in your own way. Your energy becomes soft but powerful, calm but magnetic. You start to notice the signs, the nudges, the perfect timing that would have gone unnoticed in a state of stress. Surrender reconnects you to your intuitive guidance, your inner knowing that transcends logic. It brings you into flow. It reminds you that you are not separate from what you want. You are already connected to it in the field of potential. When you surrender, you stop trying to control the process and instead embody the outcome. You receive because you've made space for it emotionally, mentally, energetically. Surrender is not weakness, it is alignment. And from that alignment, everything begins to move in your favor.